The Boy in the Window. My girlfriend and I moved into an apartment in a quiet neighborhood. Right across the street was an old house that had been abandoned for over a decade, according to the neighbors. One night, we stepped out onto the balcony for a smoke. While we were talking, I noticed something strange in the second floor window of the abandoned house. I told Clara, "Did you see that?" "See what?" "A kid in the window." She laughed, thinking I was joking, but I swear I saw him, just for a second. A boy, maybe 8 years old, staring straight at us. His face was expressionless, not scared, not happy, just blank. Clara leaned over and said there was nothing there, that it was just my imagination. But a week later, while she was having coffee on the terrace, she came running in, white as a sheet. I saw him. He was there, just standing there. He didn't move. He was just there. We asked the neighbor next door. He told us a family used to live there, and their youngest son had died in a car accident right on that same street. Since then, we try not to look at that house, but when the sun goes down, it's hard not to feel those eyes watching you from that window. Moral of the story? I should have quit smoking when it was just bad for my lungs, not for my sanity. The Ethereal Cat. My cat, Ramses, was hit by a car in front of my old house. It happened fast, but it affected me more than I expected. Months later, I moved into a second-floor apartment. I was living alone and thought about adopting another kitten eventually, but I still missed Ramses. I needed time. One afternoon, an old college friend came over to visit. We were chatting in the living room when she suddenly said, "Hey, you didn't tell me you'd adopted a new cat." "I haven't yet. Still trying to settle in," I replied. "But I just saw a cat peeking out from the kitchen door." We searched the whole place. Nothing. No cat. No way one could have gotten in. It didn't happen constantly, but it wasn't rare either. At least 3 different people told me they'd seen a cat hanging around near the kitchen doorway. Some described a swishing tail. Others said they caught a glimpse of a small figure slipping by. I only ever caught flashes from the corner of my eye, like a quick movement or the sound of something light landing on the kitchen counter at night. The creepiest moment was during a video call with my boyfriend. I was in my bedroom with the door closed. Suddenly, I heard scratching, just like Ramses used to do when he wanted in. I froze, my eyes locked on the door. My boyfriend paused mid-sentence and asked, "What was that sound?" I didn't stay in that apartment much longer. Now I have a dog. He doesn't scratch doors. He barks, loudly, and honestly, that's way more comforting. My dead sister texted me. This isn't a paranormal story, but for some reason, I feel like I need to share it. My little sister was 4 years younger than me. She died in a car accident when she was just 17. She was riding in the front passenger seat with 3 friends. It wasn't that late. They were already on their way home. Just a few blocks from our house, their car crashed into an ambulance heading to the nearby clinic. She was the only one who didn't make it. The worst part? I was also heading home at that same time, just entering our street from the other side. I didn't see the accident. I didn't know until I got home and saw the chaos. We were really close, the kind of sisters that tell each other everything. Just a few days after her funeral, I was at the bakery, picking up a few things. That's when I got a message from her number. "Are you at the bakery yet? Can you grab me a few things?" I didn't panic. I knew it was my mom. She had been using my sister's old number since her own phone got stolen. I should have changed the contact name earlier, but for that split second, before my brain caught up, it felt like she was still here, still texting me, still needing something from me. It hurt, but honestly, it also felt like a gift. A tiny, bittersweet moment where she was alive again, even if just for a breath. The video call. It was Sunday afternoon. We were on a family video call for my mom's birthday. My siblings, their kids, and I joined from different cities. There were more than 10 of us on the call, adults and children, everyone laughing, talking over each other. While my nephew Santiago played with his tablet, he left the camera facing the hallway of his house. His mom, my younger sister, yelled at him to come back, and he ran into frame. But right then, we all saw it, a figure standing behind him. It was a woman, tall, with her hair covering her face. My sister thought someone had broken into the house. She jumped up, took the kids to her room, and started checking everything with her phone's flashlight. Nothing. No one was there. The doors were still locked. We all went quiet. My aunt asked if anyone else had seen her. We all said yes, even the kids. There she was, standing still. But when Santiago walked right past her, she didn't move. She wasn't family. Her face wasn't recognizable. And after a few seconds, she simply vanished from the frame. Teresa's last message. This story is not just terrifying, it's deeply painful, even today. About 10 years ago, I worked as a stock clerk at a large warehouse on the outskirts of the city. That's where I met Teresa, a kind and funny 29-year-old woman from Colombia. She had moved to the U.S. alone with her 7-year-old son. We weren't close friends, but we worked well together, and I enjoyed spending time with her. Teresa was a responsible single mom, always the first to arrive, never missed a day. That's why it was strange when she didn't show up one morning. I asked around, but no one had heard from her. Days passed. She didn't return calls. No one knew where she was. Then one coworker found a video message Teresa had sent her via Facebook, but hadn't seen until days later. In the video, Teresa looked terrified. She said she had driven past a remote area and spotted a black van partially hidden in the trees. Out of curiosity, she looked closer and saw 2 men moving black trash bags into another car. One bag tore open. Inside were human body parts. Teresa panicked, filmed the message while driving, and sent it. She was last seen online a few hours later. A close friend of hers went to her house, but she wasn't there. The neighbor said Teresa and her son had left in a black transport-style van days earlier and never came back. 2 days later, a garbage collector found a dismembered body near the warehouse. Forensics confirmed it was Teresa. The news never covered it. The police never spoke publicly. But that Facebook video was still up, and the comments revealed something even darker. One said, "She ran into the deep web butchers. She saw too much. Of course they went after her." Another said, "Hope she didn't have kids, because they're probably next." Or maybe they already were. Hundreds of replies followed, describing black market operations that sell people, mostly women and children, on the dark web. Wealthy buyers, no trace, no rescue, just silence. Teresa's fate was confirmed, but to this day, no one knows what happened to her son. The bathroom mirror. My wife and I rented a house from the 70s. Everything was fine until one night. While brushing my teeth, I noticed something strange. My reflection in the vanity mirror was just a fraction of a second off, like it wasn't quite in sync with me. I froze, thought maybe I was just tired. It kept happening. One day, I mentioned it to my wife, Laura. She said she'd noticed the same thing, but didn't want to say anything and sound paranoid. One night, we decided to just stare at the mirror together in silence. I actually found it kind of funny. We looked like 2 idiots trying to outstare our own reflections. I let out a little laugh, but my reflection didn't move. That set us both on edge. Then we watched as slowly a smile began to form on our reflections. It wasn't a friendly smile. It was crooked, unsettling, like whatever was in that mirror knew we were watching it. We turned off the light and bolted out of the bathroom. The next day, we covered the mirror with a sheet. It's still there. We haven't touched it, but sometimes we hear tapping from the other side. Lesson learned? Forget haunted houses. Haunted mirrors are cheaper, come with your rental, and don't require property taxes.